Hey guys, it's Babypowder, and we're back with another one of our clean out videos for our 200 run series part 2, and it's going to be for week 12, which is the week that we added our loot from Karazhan and from our 200 runs of RFK. Last time with the series 1, we ended up making 191,847 gold this week, which brought us to a total of 2,143,000 gold with the series 1. We're already above that with the series 2, so no matter what we make today is going to be still ahead, although we like to at least make 200,000. We did make 258,000 last week, so we're hoping that we can beat that, but as long as we make over 200,000 we'll be good, and we'll even still beat what we made with the series 1 because they didn't even make 200,000 this, they're week 12. But anyway, before we jump into the review and start getting to the bake-offs and see how much we made this week, I'd just like to mention, if you guys are enjoying these videos, smash the big thumbs up, lets me know that you like them, and also helps out the channel, of course. And do not forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss the next one. All right, guys, so last week, again, like I mentioned, we made 258,000. That brought us up to 2,989,000, so almost 3 million. So it gives us about 7 million left to make to hit our goal. Of course, we're going to try to, with week 12, we're going to try to close in on that a little bit more. I'm hoping that we can hit it, the 10 million goal a lot sooner with this one, because we're throwing a lot more loot up on the auction house a lot faster. We have actually now been above what we made the first series, but again, RNG plays a factor too, and we did get really lucky the first time. I feel like some of the farms we did get luckier with the first series than we have in the second series, but again, we're adding a lot more loot and we're ahead already, so I'm hoping it stays that way. We do have some big weeks coming in that will be matching up against the series 1, and we have a very low one where they only made like 61,000. But anyway, going back to the review here, we have now made 2,699,000 with transmog alone. We've made 290,000 with materials, and we are doing this between 2 different realms, Proudmore and Thrall, just like we did the first time. Cleaned off all the loot, put it on different realms, which you can also see right here how that stuff's doing since it's left and went to another realm. We did make 163,000 gold this week. We have had some really good weeks with that stuff since we've moved it over, but here recently it's been around the 100,000 range, which is okay, because in a way it's just like passive gold for us, because we're not adding anything else to it. We're not farming for it anymore. It's just giving us extra gold. So far since we've moved that stuff over, we've actually made over 4 million, so that's really good. But as far as how our realms are performing, Proudmore has made us the most so far at 1,726,000. Thrall has made us 1,262,000. Thrall only made us 92,000 last week, and Proudmore made us 166,000. Anyway, we'll start off with our low value bank alt for Proudmore, then the high value bank alt, then we'll check the materials, which also still has some pets and some of the WAD auction house modules and things, hopefully making us some gold this week if we sold any of those, and then we'll do the same thing with Thralls. All right, guys, so our first bank alt is going to be our low value transmog bank tune for Proudmore. Let's take a look, see what we got here. So we have some sales and actually it's above that average of 1,000 gold per sale average, which is great. 14 sales, 22,117 gold. It is just low value stuff, so whatever we get here really is good, but we do hope to get somewhere around 20 to 30,000 is what I usually hope for. Anything above that is excellent. But anyway, some standouts here. We got the Grimscale shoulders here for almost 5,000. We got the Frostbitten staff for almost 5,000. We also have the Resplendent sarong here for almost 2,000. And then we've got a Combatant Claymore for 1,500. Now that actually did come from RFK, so I mean, it's a low value piece, but we did sell it from the farm we just did. And then we got an engraved bow sold here for 3,300. So not bad, starting us off with 22,000 with Proudmore. All right, guys, so back to Proudmore, but with our second bank alt, which is our high value bank alt, and hopefully have some exciting sales here. We have 5 sales, 114,320 gold. Always good when we see at least over 100,000. Of course, we hope for as much as we possibly can get, but we'll take anything over 100,000. Let's see, we got the Dragon Rider's Harness for almost 18,000. Not bad. It came from Islands. We have the pattern for the Cobra Scale Hood. That's kind of rough. Only 6,000 gold for that one's pretty low. We have a Dusk Haven jacket here for 9,500. So that's also going to be from Islands. Plunder Dark Scale Blade, also Islands, 2,300. And then we sold a schematic for Flawless Arcanite Rifle, almost 78,000. Really nice. That is actually from when we did the returned items and did the zone areas for Northern Eastern Kingdom zones. And that was the one item we went and got out of Eastern Kingdom. So really nice there that we sold one of those. All right, as we come to a conclusion of Proudmore here, we've got our materials bank alt. Of course, it's also got the toys and pets from Islands. Let's take a look, see what we got. So 29 sales, 27,883 gold. Really nice. We did actually make 38,000 last week, so that's not quite there, but if Thrall did pretty well, then we should be able to beat it. Let's see, we got Desting Scorpion sold, so one of the pets, 1,100. We got a Crag Hoof, I wanted to say Cleft Hoof, Crag Hoof Kid for 1,400. Some other little minor materials we probably got from RFK. We also have the auction control module. So this is the one that comes from doing the dungeons and getting those pieces, putting them together. Almost 5,000 for that one. And then actually one of the open world auction house modules sold for almost over 14,000. That's a really good sale. I think we sold them for around 9,000 the other week. So really nice sell on that one. And then a Tender Pup sold for 3,000. So nice. We sold some more of those auction house modules. We still have a lot left over. And then we also sold some of the pets along with all of the materials and things too. All right, guys. So here we are back at our low value transmog, but this time it's going to be for Thrall. Let's see how well they did. Proudmore did quite well. So we've got 25 sales at 52,036 gold. So that is amazing. We're well above 30,000 gold even, and only 25 sales. It's really good. And actually it's like more than double than what Proudmore made. Let's see what we got here. We've got Grimscale Sabatons for 1,700. We've got Grimscale Legs for almost 5,000, and those are from Outlands. We've got Deathweb Belt for 1,400, and then a Deathweb Bracers for 5,300. Not sure where Deathweb comes from. Might be Wrath, maybe Wad, maybe from Skyreach. We have Spire Strider bracers here for 6,200. I'm pretty sure that's Skyreach. It sounds like it. Vine Wrap Broadaxe for 18. Now that's going to be the Iron Docks. Stone Splinter Axe for 14. That came from Northern Eastern Kingdom zones. We have the Gold Rock Breastplate for almost 5,000. That's Wad 2, I believe. Gold Rock boots and Gold Rock shoulders here. The boots at almost 4,000, and then the shoulders at getting close to 9,000 there. Got some expires coming in. No, unfortunately, no. We got the Standard Edition shield at 1,500, and then the Buccaneers vest at 1,100 there. But that's pretty much it. I'm gonna get this done with the clearing out these expireds, and then we'll get to high value. All right, guys, so here we are now on our high value bank tune for Thrall, and hopefully we can get this done before any expired start coming in. That's like the first time it's ever happened, but luckily enough we caught it just in time. Let's take a look, see how well they did. Proudmore did over 100,000, so we got 12 sales, 393,329 gold. So man, they beat Proudmore both in low value and high value, although it's not really a competition. We just want to reach 10 million as fast as possible, but looks like Thrall was the realm this week. Let's see what we got here. We sold the Blade of Misfortune for 33,000. That's a blue item that comes from Outland. We've got the Whirling Dervish Shoulders here for 3,000. That's Islands. Razorwind Axe sold for 6,000. I'm pretty sure Razorwind. Actually, I wanted to say Northern Eastern Kingdom zones, but actually, I don't think that's what that is. I think that's actually Kata. I'm pretty sure that's a Kata item. And then we sold shoulder pads of the Tranquil Path for 40,000. Now that I actually do think came from Islands. We have Pattern for Guardian Belt sold for 9,000. That I think we did actually just get from RFK. Blade of Misfortune, another one sold for 32,000, so about 1,000 gold less than the other one. Again, Outlands. So it may have came from our farm from Karazhan. I can't remember if we got those this time or one of our previous farms. Glorious Lake Plate sold for almost 75,000. That is actually from when we did ZF. Then we've sold a Vipro Blade from Nomergon, only 95,000. I do feel like they're kind of inflated right now, so they're not at like the million gold they're valued at. I mean, before they rose up so high, they were only valued at around, I think, like 300,000 or so. So still, you know, about a fourth of what or a third of what they may have been valued at originally, but still, we'll take it. Glorious Lake Plates, almost 75,000 again. Now this one, because we only got one pair of Glorious Legs on each realm, and we actually sold the ones on Proudmore last week. I believe this came from before like the open worlds farms got nerfed and or bugged or whatever's going on with them. And when we actually did Solithus, because I do believe we had one pair left from that. So we sold one from previous farm and we sold one from Zul'Farrak. I mean, they're both previous farms, right? But then we also sold a monolithic bow from Alderman. We sold the pattern for the thick nether scale breastplate for only about 5,000. That's pretty bad. We actually just got one recently, so they're like valued at like 99,000. So that's kind of rough a little bit, but hey, it sold. We'll take it. The Gizmotron Mega Chopper sold for almost 13,000. That's also from Nomergon. All right, guys. So last bank alt for week 12. Hopefully they can have about as much as Proudmore did with their materials bank alt. So we can actually beat what we made materials last week. Let's take a look. We have 21 sales. Only 1,873 gold. So nowhere near that. Means we did make less with materials, but we made more with transmog this week. And materials, we don't really like to rely on that in the pets and stuff anyway. Just extra gold. So that means we probably didn't sell. No, we didn't sell any auction house modules. We didn't sell like any decent pets, maybe some very low ones. But other than that, it was just pretty much the materials from the chests and stuff in RFK. So that's going to wrap up all the mailboxes. Let's take a look at our sheet and see what we made this week. All right, guys, so to wrap up week 12, let's take a look at how we did. So we made 581,802 gold with transmog this week. Really good. Also made 29,756 gold with our materials and our other things, which is below what we made last week, but that's still really good. I mean, sometimes we only make a couple thousand, sometimes we make less than 1,000, so that's really not bad. We're not aiming after materials, just a little bit extra, bringing us to a grand total this week to 611,558 gold, which is awesome. That brings us to 3,601,112 gold made so far in 12 weeks, getting us really close to that goal, even only 6,398,888 gold left to make. We're all getting really close to almost being halfway there, which is really good. I mean, still have like 1.4 million to make, but it's really close compared to where we were last time. Speaking of last time, now that 611,558 gold is looking way better than the 191,000 we made last time, for week 12. So really good. Also, they only had 2.1 million. We have 3.6 million now, so we're way ahead of the first series, which that's the goal, is to try to see just how fast we can hit that 10 million. As far as our transmog, we've now made 3,280,000 gold. Our materials now 320,000. Again, we've already went over the other totals here. As far as our realms go, we made 164,000 of that with Proudmore this week. 447,000 with Thrall. Thrall really coming through after they've been down for a little bit here. Proudmore is still ahead for us, though. They have made us the most so far at 1,891,000 versus Thrall only making us 1,709,000. But they've really kind of closed that gap now with having such a big week this week. So that's really, really good. I mean, they were only at 1.2 million versus 1.7. So they were getting, you know, close to like 5 million or 500,000 below Proudmore. And, you know, now, of course, only about 100,000, a little over 100,000 less than Proudmore. But guys, that's pretty much going to wrap up the clean out for week 12. Really good week. Hopefully we can see another one next week. Again, next week we will be adding the loot from Old Kingdom, so get some more RAS stuff up on the auction house, and also stuff from Shadow Labs, which we actually just did Outlands farm, but it doesn't hurt to try to, you know, try our luck, get some more of the Outlands stuff, because it seems to be that a lot of the dungeons, if you remember from series 1, they don't like to drop a lot of those, you know, world drop epics from Outlands, and they do sell rather well. So just trying my luck trying to get some of that stuff done. We will have more Outlands dungeons, just like we did in the first series. We kind of delayed them till near the end since they didn't give us too much the first time around, and that's why I kind of pushed them back. But we still want to try to get as many of those world drop epics as we can up on the auction house eventually, when we've pretty much stocked up everything else. But anyway, guys, once again, if you do like these clean outs, make sure you smash the big thumbs up. Lets me know that you like it. Also helps out with the channel, and do not forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss the next one or the loot videos. We will be working on next week, by the way, if you guys are interested in joining us on Twitch live during stream, or just, you know, interested in what we'll be doing for the next loot video after Wednesday's loot video, which of course Wednesdays will be on you know, Old Kingdom and Shadow Labs, but we'll be working on Sunken Temple and Dire Maul North, and that way we can get some of those patterns from Dire Maul, of course. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this one. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you all in the next video and sometime live on Twitch. Take care, guys.